Wow, this has got to be, honestly, I'm going to pat myself on the back for doing this, but I'm locking myself out of my account. I haven't taken a trade today, and we are having very, very strong impulses to try and put on a position. So I kind of want to go over that. I sound kind of stuffy. I apologize, but I'm feeling better, right? Wow, I'm sorry. Well, I should restart the video, but I don't really care that much, to be honest. So, anyways, I have a lot of desires to take shorts right now because I think we're going lower. I think that we are drawing towards this daily fair value gap. If we zoom out here, this imbalance right here is kind of a clear draw after today's price action. That's where I've kind of been looking for. And the 4 hour's been bugged today on Top Step X. I don't know why. Oh well. The 1 hour low here, we swept out these lows. That was my main target from when we put in this move the other day, right? I thought we were going to sell through here. We didn't. So going over kind of how the day started, ES was in a way different spot than the NQ, right? ES was closer to this high and these highs here. I'll pull the ES up real quick for context. The ES was here on the 1 hour, right? We were a lot higher up. We had swept out this high here, and we were sweeping this high as we opened, right? So we then created a bearish SMT after sweeping this high, which reswept these highs here. So we got the manipulation leg on this high here to then push price lower, which was nice, right? And this happened at open. This is the 930 candle. So if we go on open, right, we have the sweep on liquidity here of all these overnight lows or highs and the overnight and the other day's high, right, with the SMT. We then break structure down to the downsides, kind of chop work through here, and then we get displacement lower, right, and we never get any 5 minute, not even a single 5 minute pullback to any imbalance, right? The best you get, and you don't even get any 1 minute imbalance either. So it was kind of just tricky today for me. This is what the ES looked like, just for context. So when we go into the NQ, right, this is the high that ES swept, and this was also the high that ES swept. So we had two SMTs, and then along with even SMT from the market open, right? So we even had this area here that I wanted to see price go into, this 15 minute. Right, there's not really an imbalance that we trade into here, right? We don't really have an imbalance even here on any time frame. Besides, we have this 15-minute order block, and we have a 1 hour bearish gap here in the new week opening gap. So there's kind of some confluences there, but we do create the SMT, which kind of helps send price lower. Right here, there's absolutely no setup, in my opinion, for myself at least, to go short, even though we take out these short-term highs and we create the SMT and then we get a rejection, right? I'm just never shorting this inverse right here. I'm just absolutely never going to short this, or at least with a clear mind, with a clear view on price action. I hope I never take this trade, just because it's just so forced. It's 10 minutes in the market open, right? We're having pretty much chop work right here too. We don't even break structure on this low. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of this entry, right? It ends up being the best entry, obviously, but I don't like it for a few reasons, and one of the reasons just being how early it is in the day. Also, I just don't like that we're not delivering from any higher time frame fair value gap besides a 1 hour. This is just choppy, right? I just can't. I'm just not expecting price to run efficiently through here. Right, I don't really want to see that. I just want to see this use this bias. Okay, so we break this. Now my bias is bearish, right? Then we don't even make a single 1 minute fair value gap. When we created equal lows here, we created equal lows. Let me draw them out. Let's go here. We created literally perfect equal lows with this candle here. So I then wanted to see price go up higher and create an inverse on the 1 minute at least. When I zoom in on the 30-second, there was an inverse right here, but I'm just not taking that either because we're delivering from a 30-second imbalance. I'd want to see something better, right? But this ends up working, ends up playing out, and that would have been an entry. Technically, the equal lows gave confidence, but again, nothing I really loved seeing, right? There's nothing I wanted to place a trade off of, and this is where it gets hard when you're trying to stick to your rules, trying to be disciplined, right? And if you go online, a lot of people took winners today. A lot of people took trades. A lot of people caught this move because the SMT, the higher time frame liquidity sweep, like there's a lot of confluence, right, that goes short, but there's no confirmation. I don't think, in my opinion, there's no good confirmation on the lower time frame that gave you confidence to enter trades towards these lows, right? Like I wanted to see price hit these lows, these lows, these lows, and we got them all, but we just never got a 5-minute fair value gap to open, right? We didn't even get a fair value gap on this leg down. We get one here, we just trade straight through it, right? We tap this one, which is like just really small. It's really cherry picked when you zoom in. And we never get a 15-minute until now, right? And we're rejecting that. That's why I had the impulses to take a trade, and I'll go over why I decided against taking a trade today and why I'm happy for that, right? So this was the sell-off, and this is kind of my context as to why it happened, right? It's not that I know exactly why the market has to do anything, but in my opinion, this was a pretty clear sell-off. Like the market gave us all the context clues we needed, but in terms of entries, there wasn't quite much that was super, super high confluence, super high conviction for me that I really was in love with trying to position myself on, which is fine. It's a Monday. There's no real news driver. I think that this just sets us up for the week, right? I think that we'll come down, and I think we've put in a lot of low resistance liquidity for NQ. I think this will become a target tomorrow or the next day, along with these, right? I think we'll come down and sweep this low. If not, we will have an objective for tomorrow. I will expect this low. I expect this low before going any higher. Could we reverse off this? Yes, but I want to see this low, right? So the rest of this I'll kind of just be going over my thoughts and why I'm happy I didn't take a trade and kind of the impulses that were going through my brain to take a trade, right? Because after seeing this move, and then I went on my phone and saw that a lot of people actually end up catching this move, a lot of like traders, like influencers, I guess, in the space, which normally doesn't matter to me, but it's just kind of annoying because in my opinion, right, and again, you might have found a trade. I'm not saying you can't find a trade today. I'm not saying there wasn't a good trade. Like, I'm not trying to say that, right? If you found a trade that you had confidence in, with your trade, your entry model, all that jazz, like, you did your job, right? You did exactly what you're supposed to do. I did exactly what I'm supposed to do as well today, which is I didn't have a trade, and that's completely fine, right? But, and it comes back to those things, right? Where it's like when I don't get a trade and other people get a trade, it makes me feel like, okay, what did I do wrong, rather than just, oh, I followed my rules, right? It makes me feel like I did something wrong because I forget that, on Friday, we had beautiful price action that I read perfectly, right? We came into this 5-minute, we held, we turtle souped, here, boom. This was a beautiful read on price. I didn't trade it because I was done for the day, right? I got in a trade up here and I cut it early, but this was a nice trade, right? I read the market good there. So I forget about the times like Friday where I read the market good, right? And then I think Thursday we had a trade, right? I forget the times on Thursday where we take a beautiful trade here and we read the market perfect here, right? I forget about those times because, one, I don't capitalize the way I should. Remember Friday, I only made $200 when I should have made a lot more, right? I don't capitalize the way I need to. So that when I have days like this where I don't find a trade because I know what I'm looking for, it didn't show up, I feel like I'm missing out on something that I'm not missing out on, right? And my point being is that it's really frustrating. Like I was really, like you saw me, I just locked in my account when I started this video. That's why I didn't re-record it whenever I, blew my nose and stuff. I apologize for that. But the reason why that was hard for me to do is because I'm so, like, after seeing this move, right, I just want to take a trade so badly because I saw the market dump in my bias, in the favor of my bias, right? I was bearish after the sweep on liquidity, and kind of going into the day, I was pretty bearish. But after the liquidity sweep, after the displacement, I was definitely bearish. And just not being able to get an entry really messed with me today, and that's why I'm really happy to journal that and kind of talk about it today, to kind of just reflect on my thoughts and go over what I was feeling. So, again, there was no opportunity for me. Let's see if on this 5-minute imbalance we had any setup form. I, again, don't think we did, right? So that was the first 5-minute tap, right? It was here. There's not even a 1 minute fair value gap. There was not even a 30-second. So there's zero opportunity for me today, and that is 100% fine, right? So part of the the things that bothered me, man, I'm sorry. Part of the things that bothered me today was that I felt, or because I had the bias correct, right, and I didn't get an entry, it led to this impulsive feeling festering in my body, right? It really was a lack of being able to read the market right? And even though this idea that I'm about to go over is playing out all right, I wouldn't even be in love with being in this trade that I'm about to point out anyways, because we're really not moving too great, right? And we might get an opportunity later. I locked my account because, again, I can recognize the emotions I'm having, which is trying to place a trade, trying to enter something, trying to make some money. I'm recognizing those emotions, and I'm really happy with today. I'm not just acting on those emotions, right? Last Monday we had a bad day, right? Because we acted on our impulsiveness. We acted on our emotions. We thought price was going to go somewhere, right? I'm going to look back at last Monday real quick, because Monday would have been a week ago. So if it's the 26th, then it would have been the 19th. So the 19th should have been the Monday. The 19th, August 19. Bear with me. New week opening gap should have been here. So 19. Boom. So this Monday, I'm pretty sure we took some bad trades here. We took a trade. We took a bad trade here, and then we took another loss somewhere in here, right? So Monday, we let our impulses take over without a clear setup, without anything super clean, right? We took impulsive decisions, right? And we paid for it on Monday. We lost $500, right? So then what do we have? Tuesday. So the Tuesday, we had, what do we have? We had something that we took a trade on. Let me see. Where's price open? Price opens around here probably. We did not catch this. We caught a beautiful trade here. We took a loss on this, and then we took this trade and took it to this high. That was a nice trade. We ended up missing out on this trade here, which was nice. But Tuesday we had a good day, right? We had a good, nice day. We had a 1 loss, 1 win. And we read price well, right? Because we didn't chase opportunity. We had reasons for what we did, right? We had swept out these lows here. We had a reversal pattern here where we held this fair value gap. We displaced higher. It was like it was market maker model to this 15 minutes, this new day gap, to then send price lower was what I was anticipating. We didn't end up going all the way, which is fine. And then Wednesday, we had another trade. I think, let's see what we took on Wednesday. I can't remember off the top of my head until I see it. Wednesday, did we take a trade Wednesday? I believe we might not have taken a trade Wednesday. Let's see. Wednesday, I don't know if I took a trade Wednesday. Wednesday, I didn't take a trade. And guess what? Guess why we didn't take a trade Wednesday? Because when we went back in price action on Wednesday, I can't even identify what trade I would take. So we did our job again on Wednesday, which was here, I believe. Yes, this was Wednesday, right? Wednesday, we didn't take a trade because there was nothing that I like to see in price, right? So there's nothing I should do, which is fine, which is good, which is cool. Exactly what I'm supposed to do. Thursday, we come in on Thursday, and we took a nice trade, I believe. Thursday was, price action was where? Price action was, oh yeah, Thursday we had no setup to the data low. Although you could have taken this, I just didn't like the chop work, right? We were very bearish on the day, and we got this signature, right? We had a 5 minute, and we had the low resistance liquidity I wanted to see us run. Thursday was a great day. We got what we wanted to see. Again, I don't need to keep reviewing the rest of the weeks, but I'm trying to, this journal is, again, for me. I apologize to people that watch these videos because sometimes I'm talking about stuff that only applies to me. But today I had this emotion, right, that stems the impulsiveness, right? The part of me that wants to be impulsive comes from the thought that when I see this big price run, and it was with my bias, I feel like I missed out on something. I feel like I'm never going to catch a trade, right? Where if I just look back and realize Monday, I was impulsive last Monday, and I lost a lot of money. Tuesday, I did my job. 1 win, 1 loss. Wednesday, I did my job. I didn't see anything. Thursday, I did my job. I took a trade, and I took it with good risk, right? We didn't get the benefit the way we needed to. And then Friday we did our job and we took a good trade, right? And then we shut ourselves out after we made a mistake on it, right? So I can't forget that last week, bar Monday, when we fell victim to our impulsive decisions, we paid for it. The rest of the week was fantastic, besides a little bit of mistakes executing, right? So when I show up to Monday today, I can't forget that if I succumb to my impulsiveness, I will not benefit in the long run, right? I'll have more days where I lose and lose and lose than days where I benefit, right? Because if I succumb to my impulsiveness and my impulsive behaviors and my impulsive tendencies, it will always be negative regardless of what happens, right? So today, what would I need to see to take a trade, right? Well, I probably would have not wanted to see this low and this low and then these other lows get taken, right? I probably wouldn't want to see these get taken. That was my objective for the day. So right away when that low got taken, I probably should have logged off for the day, right? I didn't take a trade, so no harm, no foul. But after a 300-point move, a very effective move where we teared through all of the liquidity, right? I need to get better at being like, okay, there might be a trade later, but I don't care about it because it's going to be less probability. It's going to be chop work, right? We don't need to be here, right? The objective was taken. I need to learn how to walk away with no guilt, right? And part of me felt bad that if I walked away, we might pull back up to equilibrium, we might get another setup, and we might trade all the way down to the daily low. I don't have to be here for that because after a very efficient price run, based on experience, based on conviction, I know that that's the objective for the day. Once that objective is ran, I do not need to be a part of the market because more often than not, I'm going to get greedy. I'm going to get impulsive because I saw 300 points drop in the market in the direction of my bias. I'm going to be more likely to make a mistake, and prices can be more likely to be choppy, right? And why do we see this now? We have 1 hour and 15 minutes of relatively choppy price action. No 5-minute fair value gaps, right? An hour and 15 minutes. Let's see what an hour and 15 minutes looks like from market open, right? The same time frame, an hour and 15 minutes, less than that, we get a 300-point run on price with 1-2 big gaps, right? We have a 300-point price run in the same time frame that we're doing this. This shows us, right? This isn't a coincidence. We took the objective for the day, which was this low, the previous day's low, and then last week's low. I believe this is last week's low. So we ran the objective already, right? So what can we expect? We can expect choppy price action, right? Maybe we would come up and sell all the way off, right? We are in this 30-minute imbalance, and we are selling off. But notice the efficiency. Notice that you shouldn't be in it, right? But it's my impulsive desire to be in a position because, it could drop from here. Or, it could go lower and I could make money. Or it could go down to that daily fair value gap that I'm expecting. Because I'm expecting price to go somewhere doesn't mean I'm entitled to be in a position to trade to it, right? But there's nothing beautiful about not trading, right? Monday morning, right? You're excited to see the market. There's nothing fun about not taking a trade today. There's nothing great about it, but I really want to drill in that I'm happy with how I managed myself today because I didn't take a trade. I didn't force anything. I waited for what I wanted to see, and I didn't get it. I was picky with what I wanted, and that's fine. And if it goes down to my daily target, then that means I'm reading price action well, right? It doesn't mean that I missed anything. And if it goes without me and I don't get the benefit from it, who cares? Because that means I read price well, and price did what I expected it to. Price did what we expected today with this SMT and this displacement lower. We just didn't get an entry, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's absolutely perfectly fine. The first 5-minute imbalance held and sold off through the objective, right? It sold off 100 points. But how would I know to short this fair value gap and not wait for the come up higher? I don't know. There's no context. There's no market structure. There's no liquidity sweep on the 1 minute even, right? This is just all low resistance liquidity, right? Unless you got in here, which again, I went over. I'm not a fan of taking a trade here for a lot of reasons. There's absolutely no entry on the 1 minute all the way on this price run. So I need to start learning how to see this, see my objective get taken, and say, you know what, I'm logging out for the rest of the day, or you know what, I'm not going to even think about touching a trade, right? Because then you can sit there and watch price action, and I can watch price action here, right? We had I believe we had an SMT here. I could be wrong. Yeah, we did. We had an SMT here inside a 30-minute imbalance, and we inverse this, right? I can tape read that, right? But when I'm sitting here not making the decision to log off for the day and not trade, when I'm sitting here still thinking I could trade the rest of the day, it festers that impulsivity and that, oh my gosh, we have an SMT, we have an inverse, I should get in here, right? So this was the trade I was talking about, thinking about taking, right? I wanted to take this 2 minute short, or no, not 2 minute here. Okay, I wanted to take this 1 minute then, right? I wanted to go short on this 1 minute, and I didn't know how much size I wanted to take, but I was only risking 24 points, and I was expecting this low, and I was expecting maybe take some profit this low, but we got stopped at break even. Regardless, I'm expecting this low. I still do expect it, right? But when I'm sitting here after seeing 300 points, seeing my objective get taken, all these reasons why I shouldn't be trading, because I was still logged into my eval account, still looking to place a trade, I had a strong desire and a strong impulsive desire inside me to place this trade because, oh, we have an S&P 30-minute balance inverse. Like, that is not enough, right? We're not pattern traders. We're not pattern traders. We have to get that through our head. I have to get that through my head. We trade based on narrative, right? Which is, what is the narrative? Where's the drawn liquidity, right? Time and price, right? Market opens here. It's a good time, right? Before 11 or before 10, we have a good time to run liquidity, right? After market open, we can get a manipulation. We can get distribution. We can get some displacement. We can get a rebalance, right? But once this gets taken, this is last week's low. Although we do have this low here, which is a daily fair value gap, we have no need, right? We've proven before that we don't have to keep running lower, right? Right here, when we were here on this day, right, and we pulled up to this imbalance, we could have anticipated that we'd keep running to this low, right? It's the same thing, right? We took this low, right? We put in this low. We could anticipate that continue lower, right? When we took out this low here, when we put in this low, and we didn't take this, we could have anticipated, oh, we'll probably pull back up to this area, right? And we never do. The market, once it runs certain objectives and once it does its job and is efficient, get out before you're too late, right? You're too late. So a lot of the times you'll just be too late to the market, right? Now we're in this 15-minute imbalance. I would want to see this hold, right? But again, going back to this idea that I had on this trade was we end up holding this order block, this 15-minute imbalance, right? We finally tap a higher time frame imbalance, and then, right, we get this inverse on the 1 minute, and I had the impulse to get in, right? And the thing I told myself, right, and again, it's somewhat working, right? If I was in this trade, I would have been up 60 points. We would only be up 30 now. It's not looking amazing, but you have the 15-minute as a support. This trade here, when I started a recording, right, because I thought I was going to place an entry, the thing that I told myself to hold myself back from the impulse, which I'm very happy about, it's a lot of improvement in my eyes. Like, I'm very, very, very happy with how I managed myself today, because that's what it's going to come to. To do this long term, this is what it's going to come to. As soon as I almost clicked the button, I thought to myself, I was kind of stressed out. I was a little bit nervous. I didn't really love it because it's just, because one, I told myself I wanted to see equilibrium of this range minimum, bar minimum, absolutely minimum. I wanted to see this high, this 50%, a 30-minute, something higher time frame, right? We now have a 1 hour, so probably at least this 1 hour. But regardless, let's mark out this 1 hour. But regardless, I wanted to see, so now this would be an area that I could expect price to turtle soup. But this is what was going through my mind when I saw this live time was exactly this. I don't like that we didn't come up to equilibrium. I don't like that we already took the objective for the day. I don't like that we're kind of chop working here. I don't like that ES is lower, like a lot lower, like about to make an SMT low. I don't like where SMT ES is because we're bouncing out of an area that makes sense, right? We have an SMT on the higher time frame with ES. I'll pull this up. On the 15-minute, this is a beautiful chart for ES, right? We ran this low here, we ran this imbalance, and these lows here, and we're holding a 15-minute, right? We might run through it, but price ran very effectively from market open, 37 points. We ran pretty far, and we have a big time frame SMT. We have a major SMT on the higher time frame, right? We're nowhere near this low, right? So we're at a great place for today to be done, right? Today, it ran its course. Price action ran its course. It does not need to do anything else. Again, I'm not saying you can't sit here and find a trade. I'm just saying you don't need a. If For me, right? I'm not telling anyone else how to trade, how they should trade, how they shouldn't trade. For me, I need to recognize these types of opportunities to step away and be completely fine, guilt-free, not feel like I'm missing out, not feel like I'm missing out on money or stepping away early. I need to be able to guilt-free walk away, or at minimum, lock the account so there's not even that single impulse to want to trade and be like, okay, cool, I'm paper trading, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. And that's how I'm trying to rewire myself is I'm here to learn, I'm here to get better. I'm not here to make money, right? And last night I was telling my mom about this. I was talking to her about how I'm trying to reframe my mind when I'm trading. I'm trying to rewire myself. I no longer want to think about trading as I don't even want to think about the money I can make, right? I know someday I could be doing $10,000 months, weeks, whatever. I could be doing $1,000 days. I know I can do this consistently. I know I will be profitable. I know all the money that I can make and will make, but I no longer want to even worry about that with trading and understand that trading is a job now, right? I haven't been treating trading like a job, and a lot of people are like, oh, why? It doesn't have to be a job. It's fun. It's what this, that, whatever. Trading is a job. This is my job. This will be my job. And if I'm working a job, right, there's no room for impulsivity. There's no room for guessing. There's no room for feeling. There's execution, and there's emotional control, right? If I'm working a job, right, I'm not even thinking about I could make $1,000 a month, or not a month. I can make $1,000 a day. I can make $10,000 a week. I can make $10,000 a month, whatever it is. $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year. Oh my gosh, all these things. Then I can do this, and that with trading, and I can go here and live here and do this and that and whatever. When I'm and this is something that everyone knows and everyone thinks about and everyone talks about, but it's in the back of your mind, and maybe it's not. Maybe you've worked on it, but for me, it's in the back of my mind. All these places I want to be, all these places I want to go to and do with trading and make money and all this and stuff and this and that and the other. And in the back of my mind, it's killing me because that's trying to pass account, trying to prove myself, trying to do this, that, the other, instead of waiting for opportunity and working my job, right? My job, your job isn't sexy. Like a doctor, they get a lot of money, right? Because they do their job and they do it well. If they don't do their job well, they get fired and they no longer make a lot of money, right? So just because trading can make you a lot of money, it's just like being a doctor. You show up and you do your job. When you show up for a surgery, you're not thinking about, oh, if I do good on this surgery, then maybe I'll get ranked up and maybe I don't think that's how it works with this type of stuff. But when you're doing that surgery, right, the surgeon's not thinking about, oh my gosh, if I impress today, and I really show them I know what I'm doing and I do well here, I can do this consistently for a week. And if I can do a lot of good surgeries this month or this year, then eventually they're going to promote me. I'm going to get my own firm or my own hospital or whatever. I'll get ranked up and become leader, team leader. And like, no one's thinking about that when you're a doctor. You're not thinking about making more or how much you're making or like, oh, I'm a surgeon. Like this is about to make me $5,000. Like you're just doing your job. You show up and you do your job. And that's how I'm rewiring my brain, is to show up and do my job, which is wait for the opportunity, wait till I'm comfortable, wait till I have conviction, and execute and execute and follow my risk management and get better every day. Right? That is my job. It is not to make money. It is not to win trades. It's not to impress anyone on social media. It's not to impress myself. It's to do nothing besides execute in the market not an emotionless, but execute exactly how I'm supposed to. So the impulsive desire, again, stayed with me. I saw this kind of working. We were holding this little 1 minute gap. And then when we got this, we came back up here, right? And then we inversed the 2 minute, and I was like, oh, that could work. And again, I wouldn't have lost here. Maybe a break even. Maybe I would have taken some partials down here. I wouldn't have lost, but that's not the point. The point is, we didn't even go down to my target, right? And we're reversing heavy. Doesn't mean I'm wrong or I couldn't have taken this trade, but look again at the chop work and this time frame versus this, right? This is what you want to be on. This is how you want to position yourself in the market. The impulses here could have killed me, right? If I would have waited, I'm going to inverse this 5 minute, right? We inverse 5 minute here, and it's chop work, and I probably take a loss or a break even here. It's chop work for a lot of time, and we're going to get stopped out on a close back above if we took it, right? What are we going to do? We're going to sweep this high on the 1 hour, maybe hit equilibrium, and then we're going to get a reversal pattern, and we're going to maybe continue lower. Or we chop the rest of the day, and we wait till overnight or tomorrow to run this low, right? There's endless opportunity in the market, and it's not going to leave you behind if you miss out on this day, right? And again, if you had a trade today, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm talking about myself and how I reprice. There was no opportunity for me. There was absolutely nothing to do. And I followed that plan, right? I followed that plan, but when I go online and I see people that won, I didn't win yet, so I'm looking at price. I'm like, okay, I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling through my phone right here or looking at my phone, whatever, seeing whatever going on in the world. It has absolutely nothing to do with me or my decision making. And I'm here, and then I'm like, you know what? It does look bearish. And then, you know what? This actually, we have an S&T and a 30-minute balance, and we just inverse this 1 minute. Yeah, buzzword. That is a thing, right? We did sweep out this high with an SMT with a 1 minute inverse inside a bigger time frame imbalance when we expect price to go lower. But it's narrative, and you have to drill narrative into your head. Otherwise, it just will never click. It will never click. You'll never be able to do it consistently. You'll never have 100% confidence. You'll never be able to scale up with your trading because you're always just pattern trading, and they'll work and they won't work, and you won't really know. So I'm very happy with how I decided to not take a trade today. So that's kind of my rant of just how I felt throughout the day, because it was hard for me to get to that point and lock out my account. It took me a long time, but I'm really happy to reflect on today and reflect on those thoughts and those kind of the way that the impulse was manifested into my decision making and clouded my view, and I couldn't even really think straight, and I was just super impulsive, man. It's just not a great place to be with trading. So I'm so happy that today wasn't a losing day, right? Even if we took a win, but I gave into my impulses, it would have felt good in the short term, but it wouldn't have benefited me. Like, I benefited a lot more today not taking a trade, because it feels like a step in the right direction, because last Monday we gave into impulse and we lost big, right? I know that if I lost today, I would have been if I took this trade and it instantly ran and stopped me out, I would have been very upset. If I would have chased the trade lower and got in here, or chased the 5 minute, I would have been very upset, because even though price is showing me what I want to see and telling me what it kind of wants to do, maybe go lower, there is no conviction in that model. There's no narrative behind it. And it's just, I have no confidence. That's all it has. You need confidence when you're placing a trade. Otherwise, why are you placing it? Right? When you're first starting, you won't have confidence. But when you know what you're looking for, confidence is your friend. If you don't really like what you see, if you don't really have confidence, don't take it. There's no reason, right? And that's why, again, what I told myself when I was about to click the button, I told myself, I don't have to take this trade. And that sounds obvious, but when you really sit there, and next time you're about to press a button and you don't really feel, and you feel something in your chest, it's kind of like you feel butterflies, you're a little bit nervous, you're a little bit skeptical. Maybe the first trade you wanted, you missed out on or something, or you took a loss. Sit there and ask yourself and tell yourself, I don't have to take this trade, right? I don't have to take this trade. It could work, right? You're never going to enter a trade that you don't think has any chance of winning, right? I would never even consider pushing a button here if I didn't think there was a chance it was going to work. I thought there was a great chance it would work. But I had a lot of doubt. I didn't want to get stopped out. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to see. And I told myself, I don't have to place this trade. I don't have to take this trade, right? And allowing yourself to miss something because you didn't have to take it, right? Your setup should be a must. It should be, I have to take this setup. This is my setup, right? And if you don't take it, you miss it, journal it, figure out why you didn't. But that's your setup, is I have to take this trade. When you're sitting there and it's, I don't have to take this trade. I was here today in this trade, and I was like, you know what? I do not need to place this trade. I don't need to. It could work, because again, why would I take a trade if I didn't think there was a chance it would work? I obviously expected it to maybe play out. But because I gave myself the freedom to realize I don't have to take this trade, I was able to sit back and let the market do its thing and not make that impulsive decision. So I'm very happy with that, how I decided to manage that and how I decided to keep my calm and not take that trade and kind of avoid a bad day, because these are the days where you get a lot better. And I'm very happy with this day, because I haven't had this type of control over not taking a trade when I really wanted to in a long time. So I'm very happy with that, because it's just going to benefit in the long run. And I think it helps that every day, it helps with the mistakes I made in the previous weeks, right? Because then it reminds me, I remembered Monday in the back of my mind of, forcing the impulsiveness, and I was able to actually learn from it. So today is a clear example of actually benefiting and learning from previous mistakes and previous bad times, which is why you journal, which is why you reflect, which is why you consciously try and improve. And that's why I write down every single morning. I write down affirmations. I say, I am patient. I am profitable. I only take A+ setups. I only trade it if I have conviction. I hold my trades to take profit. I am successful. I am a winner. There's endless abundance. There's endless opportunities. I am profitable. I am disciplined. I follow my plan. I wrote all those things down. So if I write those things down every day, I might mess up. But why would I be writing those things down if I never follow them, if I never try to get better, if I never journal, if I never follow my plan, right? You are a profitable trader, and even if you're not making money, you're profitable. All you have to do is start making profitable decisions. A profitable decision today was not taking this trade. And for me, right, maybe you had an entry model here that you had high conviction with. Great. For me, a profitable decision today was not placing a trade. A profitable decision was not placing a trade today, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's exactly how it's supposed to be, right? I did not place a trade. That was a profitable decision for me because there's always tomorrow, there's always the next day, there's always the next day. And if you just only take high confidence, high conviction trades and you can be patient, your time will come, you will be profitable because you already are profitable. If you make profitable decisions, you become profitable. It's A-B situation, right? So that brings me to my last thing to talk about is that we are in a tricky spot with this combine, right? So as you guys know, I have an account that's up $1,000 right here. This account's up $1,050, right? This account rebills on the 7th, so we have some time here, and we will be rebilling it unless something happens to it. This account here, that's only up $200. At the all-time best was up $864. This account rebills on the 29th, so that is, I don't know, this is the 29th on Thursday. I don't know if it rebills the end of the day or as soon as it hits 12, so I'm not going to take my chances, and I'm going to assume it rebills that day, so I have 2 trading days left on this account. Unless I bring it above my all-time high because, again, I have an account that's up $1,000, right? So I will not be keeping this account unless it's up 1,000 as well or around the all-time high. So what that means is that we have 2 days to basically take a decent-sized winner. So I do have to say that if I get a setup tomorrow or on Wednesday, I will probably slightly over-leverage, right? So it will skew what we're trying to do in terms of risk, but I'm not keeping this account unless it's over $1,000. So I basically need the trade to make me around $800 to $1,000 or $800 to $600 winner minimum. So as you can see, we've only hit 1 day like that. So I will be like if I find a great setup tomorrow, I'll take it with no fear. But it might be slightly bigger size. So that's kind of where we're at with this account. So it just basically means if I don't see a trade on Tuesday, I'm not forcing a trade. I'm not clicking a button. I'm still going to be building my patience, my habits, because that's what I need. I need to be building that. Just like today. I know that I only have 2 more days to trade, which led to some impulsive desires. But I knew that in the long run, I'd rather have no trade today than try and force them just because the account closes in 2 days, right? To try and make it get to a total, right? Try and be a P&L trader rather than an actual trader, which today I did my job. There's nothing for me to do today. 1, 2, 3 Mondays in a row where we didn't really have an opportunity. This Monday we actually had a good opportunity, but we just didn't trade it. But we have 2 days left, right? And that could make me more impulsive, but if I don't have a trade on tomorrow at all that I don't like, I'm not taking it. I'm only taking a great setup. I might just over leverage it because I needed to boost my account. But if we don't take a trade this day and on the 28th, I'll try and look for an A+ setup. But if there's no setup, I will just gamble the account in terms of I will just I'll set a trade where I target $1,000 and I set $1,000 stop loss and I let it go. If I don't get a trade, that's if I don't trade tomorrow and if I don't trade on this day, or if I take a trade on Tuesday. If we win, then I'll only gamble to however much we need if we don't have a trade. And if we lose, then I'll just gamble more because now there's no more daily loss limit. So I'll do like a 1,500, like whatever it is, right? But that's kind of just letting you guys know where I'm at with this account because it does rebill on the 29th, and there's no reason for me to keep it if it's not above the all-time high. If it is above the all-time high, which I hope so, we will keep it. But again, we're not going to change our plan, right? Tomorrow we're not going to come and just gambling and taking everything we see just because we know we have 2 days left. If I don't see a trade tomorrow, I won't take a trade. I'm only taking good setups. Wednesday, the day before it rebills, is a day that I'll allow myself to gamble it if I don't find a trade. Hopefully we try and find a setup. But yeah, so that's the plan going for the rest of the week or these days. And then after that, if we blow this count, then we have or not blow it, but if we can't find enough profit to rebuild it, then we will just go to the $1,000 account and trade it like normal. But if we do get this account, the rebuild, we will leave it and we will start trading this account until the 7th, because we have this account until the 7th. So we have this account rebuilds on the 7th. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whole trading days. So we'd have a whole week and 2 days to trade this account, see if we can spin it. And if it doesn't, if it goes negative, right, we're going to trade it normally, risking about 200 per trade, 250 a trade, and just see where it's at. And if it's below 1,000, then we won't keep it. But if it's up, then we'll obviously keep it, and then we'll continue trading from there. So that's just a little update of kind of where the accounts are at, kind of what we're doing. But yeah, so a great day for me, but it's not a sexy day. It doesn't, make me feel amazing. It doesn't make me, it doesn't line my pockets. But this is a profitable day. This is a profitable decision. These are profitable habits I'm building, and I can't be more excited. So last thing, and it's sad that we won't be able to share this with most people, because most people won't watch all the way to the end, which is fine. But we did hit 1,500 subscribers, so I really appreciate every single person who subscribed. So if anyone remembers, we put quarters in the jars, not jars in the quarters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there for every 250 subscribers. We have 250 more subscribers, and this one is from, it's crossing the Delaware quarter. It's that's a cool one. So we have the quarter going into the jar. That's 250 more subscribers. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarters, which represents 1,500 subscribers. That is mind blowing. And we woke up this morning and we just got monetized on YouTube. So we have started the request with that. Hopefully it can come through quick, because it would be nice to start making some money on the AdSense. But yeah, I mean, I never even dreamed of ever getting monetized on YouTube. Never would have expected 1,000 subscribers even. So 1,500, we're halfway to 2,000, or we're more than halfway to 2,000, but we're halfway through the next 1,000. It just blows my mind, and yeah, the growth has been really phenomenal. It's been really cool to see, and I'm just gonna keep pumping out these videos, and maybe and put out some other videos on the weekends. I have some plans coming up, but I really appreciate everyone that watches these videos. And if you made it this far, comment 1,500. Just so I know, because I really hope that I hope that most people won't be able to see that milestone because they won't make it this far, which is fine because it's a long video. But again, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate everyone that watches these videos. I see a lot of your guys' comments all the time. It's really, really motivating. I really appreciate everyone. And these ramble sessions, bro, 42 minutes of just talking about my psychology. But again, this is a journal for myself, so that when I am profitable, I can look back and I can send people to my channel and be like, yo, look through all my videos. Like, these are the things I dealt with. These are the days I went through. This is the real journey, and I'm so excited to keep going. So I appreciate everyone. It is a little bit, it's always sad to not get a trade, right? It makes you feel like you're not getting any closer to your goal. But today was a very profitable day. We made profitable decisions. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.